Hello. So today we talked about postural alignment to decrease some of the chronic tension patterns that then put strain on that lower back and through the SI joint, and also to be able to find core to support. So if we're just hinging on our spine and not able to activate other muscles around the lumbopelvic region, we will just potentially end up on triggering little discomforts. So I really want to emphasize here there's no perfect posture, and what we are talking about here is alignment. What goes hand in hand with this alignment is also finding mobility. So with the other exercises, you're working on finding that spinal mobility, and then the important thing about finding alignment is really having some awareness and scanning your body of where those tension patterns lie. So we're going to look at alignment as a bit of a mindful practice of body scanning. And so take your time with it, be patient with yourself, but this is in order to facilitate this practice at home for you and finding that body awareness where your center of gravity is lying and making little minute corrections and hopefully based on what makes you feel better in your body. So here we go. I'm going to stand up and make sure that I'm in the frame. All right. So you're going to come into your natural kind of body posture, and you want to be about hip width apart. So I'm just off the rug here. And the first thing I want to do is just shift my weight forward, back, side to side, and starting with the feet, coming to a place. And I know for you, this is a challenge for you with your feet. Feel free to use shoes if you feel that this grounds you, but eventually with bare feet. Now I've got nice contact with my big toe, my pinky toe, and my heel, and I feel nicely centered in this tripod. Have a little quick scan of my hips in there in line. And take my shoulders up and down. I'm going to find a little bit of my pelvic tilt to make sure that I'm in neutral. And for me, neutral feels like that place where there's the least amount of tension and the most amount of space from the spine. Here I want to take a deep breath in. So we talked about finding that deep and wide breath. Take a few centering breaths here and notice how that ribcage widens. There's a little bit of upward movement, and mostly we want to feel the widening. Notice if your center of gravity has changed, if you're forward on your feet more, back on your heels, or back to the center, and finding that again. I feel like, is my left foot back with relationship to the right? So I'm going to take a quick peek down, and it's not, but I do see that it's externally rotated. So it's a work in progress, this scan. And I also see that my big toes are nice and stretched on the right side, but not on the left. So these little points of contact really orient us in space. And we all have structural things. For me, it's that I have a bit of hallux valgus where my toes point out. So now this feels way better. So make those tiny adjustments if you can. So we talked about, first of all, that lumbopelvic alignment and finding neutral spine. Then we looked at your tendency to not line up the thorax with the pelvic bowl. So I want you now to think about where this lies in space and feel as though there's like a gold weight on the bottom of your bra line that's just bringing you down a wee bit so that you have a little more natural connection here and here. Now you might feel like after doing a couple corrections, your body feels really awkward in space. This is why having a mirror beside you, just to give you some confidence that, yeah, you're actually building a little more stability and alignment, is helpful. This is meant to take some tension off, but it's also going to feel a bit weird. Now that you have this in line with your pelvis, see if you can just bring the shoulders back, and as you do, bring shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath and feel as though your head is floating up a little bit higher in space, decompressing each vertebra of that cervical spine in the neck. And again, here you're going to take 5 grounding breaths. Notice where you're holding any tension, finding a little bit of correction. Now, this is not going to guarantee that you feel at ease in your body right away, but it is going to teach you how to line up your body in a way that will support stronger core and more glute activation. Once again, scan your body from head to toe and find that sense of least amount of tension. Find that expansion as neck lengthens and rib cage opens up to the side on each breath in. And know that wherever you are is a wonderful starting and grounding place to be, and that this is where transformation happens. You can't necessarily jump ahead, but recognizing the struggle is such a huge step towards getting beyond it. All right, so I hope that was helpful, and know that it's important not to do this all the time or expect perfection. But these principles will start to kind of decrease the amount of pain you feel in that, we call that a lumbosacral junction area and SI joint. Know that if you have tension in different parts of your body, that might be speaking to you a little bit loudly. So it's good to do this scan when you're in the least amount of discomfort, because then you won't be distracted by those other pieces. And I wish you the best, and I'll see you next time in the clinic. Thanks.